If you've been growing your brand from just organic social media and you've been growing your business and sales from that way too, you might be asking yourself, should I run ads? I'm going to try and give you a little bit further insight on when I think business owners should start running ads in their business if they've grown from an organic perspective. I am a little biased because we teach people how to grow via organic social media in our business here at Laney Media, but the general take on it, and this is like my perspective and my opinion, is you should really wait until you're hitting a revenue benchmark of at least 500K. And the reason for that is because at 500K per month or per year, you're roughly making 45, 50K a month. At that rate, you're able to actually take a significant amount of money and actually dedicate it to ads. The reason why you want to do that is sure, you can run little ad budgets of 10, 50, $100,000, but how the Facebook pixel work, the Google pixel works, how all these different ad platforms really work now is they have a pixel and it attracts all these users that see their ads, and it needs more and more data to accurately serve your ad to people who are going to click and opt in on your ad. So unless you're willing to spend a lot of money to train the said pixel, it's not going to be really effective. And what it tends to be from everyone I've talked to is you need to spend at least 10K a month to train the pixel to effectively target your ideal target audience. And then that's when you're going to see your ROAS start to increase, your CAC go down, and so on and so forth, theoretically. You also need to be at the point in your business where if you're only breaking even on that extra ad spend, you need to be able to have a back end where you can upsell customers into other products or offers that are going to allow you to make a profit if you only break even with a 1x ROAS. It also allows you, if you're at that point doing 40 to 50K a month, again, if you took 25%, that's roughly, 10K of your revenue and spend it on ads. Theoretically, if you get a 3x ROAS, it's also at a point where you're big enough where you have a couple of people working for you, you can also scale up a lot quicker. Because if you're to 3x your business by spending that 10K on ads, you're essentially going to go from 40, 50K months to 70 to 100K months very quickly. And you're essentially 2xing the entire size of your business, fulfillment, customers, literally everything in your business. And that doesn't even start to factor in what the retention of your customers is, because that could compound even more quickly depending on how long you retain your customers for. So again, I've typically found, and what I've looked at with a lot of our customers is you really shouldn't play around with it until you're at 500K. Safely is if you can hit $1 million per year organically. It's a really safe spot where you can run ads and you can really leverage capital to continue to scale and to really, it's kind of like afterburners on your organic content if you are doing retargeting campaigns on your followers, because that can be absolutely phenomenal if you pair that with a piece of organic content that did really well. But typically speaking, 500K to a million a year, that's usually where people and business owners learn how to create content well enough and also have the capital at the same time to really make those campaigns worthwhile. Otherwise, you're really trying to leverage your ROAS to grow your business, and you get on this train of leveraging your capital. And if it doesn't go well, your business really hurts. And everyone always talks about essentially getting a 3x ROAS, but they put in a simpler term where it's like, if I can spend $1 to acquire a customer, make $1 off them, and then have an extra dollar to go acquire my next customer, aka 3x your ROAS. So if you spend $1, you get 3 back. You can infinitely scale your business. What people don't tell you about is if you get a 3x ROAS, for example, or greater, is that might be at a 5K ad spend budget or a 10K ad spend budget or only a $1,000 ad spend budget. You usually run into certain problems where the retargeting doesn't work as well as your budget increases because you're increasing that target audience size that's bigger and bigger and bigger until it doesn't quite align with who your target customer is or that really high-end client that you like working with. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't run ads. I'm just saying like these are a lot of the downfalls that come from running ads. And the other thing is, and this is like me speaking here, I have a crazy theory because it used to be people would just run ads and if they could get a 3x plus ROAS, they'd be super happy. But as time has gone on, ad rates have become more and more expensive because it's the bidding system on what people are essentially willing to pay to get in front of their prospective customers. And what happens is early on, only, the outlaws, the early adopters are using it. So it's really cheap. Then the big commercial guys come in, like Apple, ad rates go up and knocks out a lot of the people who aren't able to adapt. And then what happens from there is the people who are able to adapt, there's this another subset that adapt even further. And instead of just breaking even on that first sale, they look, oh, this is how much I want to make over, my customer's entire life. And this originally started with SaaS software sales because it's like, if you're going to retain a customer for 5 years, like how many years of revenue are you willing to dedicate to acquiring the customer? And that's really transpired into high ticket, low ticket, mid ticket, and agency offers now where it's like, okay, and you have someone who's really big in the ad space who does videos all the time where he's like, okay, if you are able to get a customer into your funnel and then you upsell him after he goes through the first offer, you upsell him on a program that's twice the price, twice the time, and you re-sign 50% of your customers, you're going to double your business. And the big reason why people talk about that now even more than they did in the past is because what that means is like, okay, well, let's say you had a 1x ROAS return. You spend $1, you get $1 back, you break even. But then if you do that, let's say you spend $1 million a month in ads, you're making $2 million a month, you're going to have a $24 million a year business. Half of that's going to go to Zuckerberg, but then half of that, goes to your business. You might spend 50% of the 12 million you get back on the back end on fulfillment. Great. So, or that might be in the first part on your 1x ROAS to get the leads in, but then it's like, okay, 50% goes to that, or 25% total revenue, and then 25% is your gross revenue, which would be $6 million a year, which isn't a bad spot to be in with a business. It's just extremely risky because guess what? What if that ad rate increases by another 25%? Well, a lot of your gross margin just went completely out the window. So when it comes to running ads, there's a lot of different ways to go about doing it. I really recommend getting really good at organic. That way, when you start to run ads, you have every possible advantage when you're putting your hard-earned dollars in revenue on the line to scale your business. And so they're more effective. So you have a solid product offer base. So you're not dealing with back charges or anything like that. And it'll just make your life phenomenally easier. If you got any value from this video, please hit the subscribe button as always. And if you have any thoughts, please leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to know what your guys' opinions and takes on it are. This is just kind of the conclusion that I've arrived to after working with clients over the last 4 years.